Where have the Cowboys gone, and what's going on?
Yeah, by the way, I should say I have a couple of other books, A Surfing Guide to the Soul and Deep Adventure, The Way of Heroic Virtue. But where have all the Cowboys gone is you look at the school boards. Who's on the school boards? Why aren't our men running for school boards?
Mm,
It's one thing to sit in front of your television and have an opinion about pro-life and yell at the TV. That's not being pro-life. That's not doing anything.
yeah.
But do you go in front of an abortion clinic and pray? Like my friend Mark Hoke, you may have heard about him. He just got acquitted for something that happened in front of an abortion clinic. I'm going to be speaking with him in Indiana, by the way, in about 2 weeks, St. Leon. But uh, join your church advisory committee. Teach catechism or Sunday school. If there isn't a young adult group there, start one. If there isn't a men's group in your area, start one. Men need to be not just have opinions, but they need to do something.
Mm,
I have a, I have a, I had some land in Montana up by 2 miles from Canada, up by Glacier Park, North Fork of the Flathead River. And when I bought that land, it was raw land; it had never been used. So I walked onto my land the first time, and immediately was saw a lone wolf, a gray wolf across this little open meadow, and it was like, "What do you do?" He was like, "What are you doing on my land?" Those green yellow eyes, you could
mhm.
see from that far. And I found, and every now and then I would come I would come across him on my land or on his land, and I met a professor who tracked mountain lions, grizzly bears, and wolves in that area. And I said that wolf looked pretty gnarly, but he looked a little bit scrawny. And he
Mm,
said, "Well, that's a lone wolf. A lone wolf is a wolf that used to be an alpha male and got forced out.
mm,
And he's starving to death because wolves hunt in packs.
yeah.
He just gets the leftovers. And there's so many men out there that are lone wolves, and they think it's macho,
Yeah.
and they've isolated themselves. I had a friend of mine, Father Bryce Lundgren. He actually has a working ranch in Wyoming, and he has a couple parishes there. He was here this last week. They just left yesterday. He was saying, "Hey, if I was riding my horse out on the range with Zeke, my buddy, and I said, 'Hey, brah, we need to,' or bro, I guess he would say, 'we need to be more vulnerable with each other,' he would gallop away.
Hmm.
But if I said to him, 'We need to be more raw and real with each other,' men need to be able to get raw and real with each other and talk story with each other. If you're a man and you don't have vital fellowship with other strong Christian men, you're a lone wolf, and that's a very dangerous place to be.
Mm, mm,
You need to be in the you need to be, even Jesus had his pack, his
mm.
12.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I totally agree. I love what you said about vulnerability. Yeah, because that sometimes scares men off, but they do want to be real. They don't want to.
All right.
They just want to be themselves. So what have you kind of done to kind of get around other men? What have you seen happen? I mean, where does that first step? Because you're right. There's a lot of lone wolves out there. Like, man, I want that, but like, I don't know. My church doesn't really get me, and um,
Doesn't that sound weak and pathetic?
yeah, I don't know.
Well, I tried to start a men's group at the church right next to where I
Mm,
live. But that pastor is like, "No, I don't want to rock the boat." But guess what? We did start three other groups here on this island, other men.
mm-hmm,
So I'm just saying, if you're a man, you're a leader. Question is, where are you leading people?
mm,
Are you leading them into a nice, comfortable couch, or worse, into other areas? If you don't have a men's group that you're a part of, get one other man, start having breakfast together once a week at 6 a.m. Before
mm,
you get up early so you don't disrupt what the family needs from you, but start having what we do is we have a cigar night once a month.
mm,
Have a shot of whiskey and a cigar, and we don't talk about politics and we don't talk about sports, but we talk about uh, real stuff.
mm,
We have a theme for the night. But if you're a man and you're a lone wolf, first of all, be careful whose company you keep, because you're exactly who's. I have a friend who was the pastor, Southern Baptist minister. He was a pastor of the Miami Hurricanes when they had their championship basketball and football
mm,
teams. And he makes the statement. We had a guy that was kind of, sometimes there's people that just kind of hangers on.
mm-hmm,
And he just was. not, he was just negative and disrespectful of women and stuff like that. And Gerard just told me, you know what, that guy's not on my championship diet.
Mm,
And there's some people that it's not like you don't want to evangelize, but when the people are just hanging on and sapping you of your vitality, um, there's a point when you need to say, just like Psalm 1, I think it says, don't hang around in the company of scoffers.
mm-hmm.
Choose well whose company you keep, and then cultivate the relationship with 2 or 3 men, maybe 10 or 12 men. And if you don't have a men's group, start one. We have
Mm,
one. People can go on our website and we can help them. But there's so many great men's things. You don't even have to have a formal thing. Just get together for breakfast, maybe read a book together,
mm-hmm.
over the months. But men need to be with other men. They just need to be in the company of other men.